Okay. I think if this... Hi, Shondaland. Okay. Hi guys. Hold on. Brett, can you request? Because I just lost, I can't get you in here. Comment again, would you, Brett? Hi guys, sorry about this. This is really awful today. Okay, well, I turned off my Wi-Fi. The connection should be better. I hope it is. Brett, I need you to, okay, let me go live. This works, please, God. Oh my God, come on. We got this. Is he here? Is he here? You better say something out loud or I'm not.
Hi.
Yes! We did it! Oh, this is great news. Okay.
I'm practically Steve Jobs.
Wow, I'm really impressed. Okay. I don't even know where we were. And the thing that makes me so sad is that I couldn't save that video because...
Oh, shit.
So whatever. It's okay. The people who heard it were, with us and got to see something one of a kind.
That's it. That's
like
it.
Groundhog Day.
Do you know what? I figured out what it was because is my mic, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mic's a bit funny and I decided to put an external mic in there and for some reason it was ruining the sound.
Wow. That's really high tech. You are like Steve Jobs. Okay. I was talking about white fragility though.
Yes, the book. Yeah, that's
and I was really excited about it because there was something that I thought was really great. And it sort of directly, Robin DiAngelo wrote this really amazing book and she sort of talks about, it's called White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism. And it has been, honestly, I'm 28 pages in, and I have to keep stopping and like processing everything I've read, which is amazing. But she wrote this book, and she says so in the foreword pretty directly that this book is supposed to be for white people, right? It's to like facilitate understanding of these really complex issues that sometimes aren't actually that complex, but to sort of, as you were saying before, force white people to see themselves as white people, right?
Right,
Like
or even easing them into it, just ease it into,
That when you've been taught that what you are is normal, is the default, is the baseline, then it's really hard to see that other people are actually experiencing really big barriers to get where you already went, or to get somewhere where you'd be like, well, I would just go in and talk to them,
Right.
I mean, a really easy way to think about this is like, I almost never complain. I don't think I've ever complained at a restaurant.
Right.
I don't think I've ever complained about service anywhere.
I make a point of it.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Well, it's white privilege, man. No. No, I just mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where you realize that I get nervous about being labeled problematic or troublesome or high maintenance or a diva, like that goes along with, especially as a Black woman, like you get a lot of sort of treatment if you walk with a certain amount of confidence and you carry yourself, with strength, and people automatically sort of label you as a diva, which is very strange because I'm not, like, me well enough to know that I'm just a weird clown. Anyway, what I was saying was, she asked this question when she's talking about, she's sort of talking specifically about when we ask white people to talk about racism. I'm just going to read a little tiny bit of this. In light of the challenges raised here, I expect that white readers will have moments of discomfort reading this book. This feeling may be a sign that I've managed to unsettle the racial status quo, which is my goal. The racial status quo is comfortable for white people, and we will not move forward in race relations if we remain comfortable. The key to moving forward is what we do with our discomfort. We can use it as a door out, blame the messenger and disregard the message, or we can use it as a door in by asking, why does this unsettle me? What would it mean for me if this were true? How does this lens change my understanding of racial dynamics? How can my unease help reveal the unexamined assumptions I've been making? Is it possible that because I'm white, there are some racial dynamics that I can't see? Am I willing to consider that possibility? And if I'm not willing to do so, then why not? And that's right. You froze. But you know what I mean?
That's amazing. And you know what's interesting about, like, what do I do with that discomfort is why people get to make that choice.
Right.
Other minorities don't get to make those. It's just a constant push towards equality and freedom where we're in this privileged position where we can actually choose to go, I'm going to ignore it. Oh, I'm going to look into that. I'm going to lean into that discomfort, and I'm going to just, maybe look at the fact that maybe I have some of these taken for granted advantages, or the other opposite, end of the spectrum, which, you don't have to look too far to see today, which is this, group that is deliberately still, and has always existed, deliberate efforts to keep the structure in place and overt racism. But generally speaking, just this discomfort and that we have this privileged position of choice, what to do about it.
Right. Shit, Brett, sorry. Can you still see me? I can hear you, but can you see me?
Oh yeah, I can. What the hell?
I don't know, dude. This is really tragic.
Oh
but I know we can't always deal with, I can tell that he's frozen. I just can't, I don't know what to do about it. So can you hear?
I can hear you, and I just can't explain it.
Brett, can you turn off your Wi-Fi?
Uh-huh.
Try that. And then if not, we'll just continue with audio, and you guys are just going to have to deal with it. You won't be able to see his face. Sorry. Can you hear me though, Brett?
What on earth is going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. I can hear you fine. I can see you fine.
Okay.
Should I? Can you save this?
I'm just gonna do this. Okay. I'm gonna close you out. Just comment real quick so I can pull you back in real quick and see if we can start this again. Just with you. I'm not going anywhere. You guys don't go anywhere. This is pathetic. I love it though. This is like such an adventure. And hi. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. At least I don't have to go away. Hi. What's up?
So I watched Boris's live chat, and it went way better.
Wasn't it amazing? So professional.
Yeah, so professional. There were no glitches. I don't know what to say. We'll call this a rehearsal.
Yeah, I mean, this is just rehearsal for the eventual talk show anyway. Exactly. So I don't know. What were you saying? You were talking about right before you went glitchy.
The fact that we, white people get to make the choice about what to do with, these terms, white privilege, whereas other groups don't. It's always been this constant push for equality and freedom, whereas we get to sit back and go, well, do I want to take a big risk and just lean into that discomfort and take a look at it and maybe start to look at the unseen advantages or the advantages that are taking place day-to-day life that then you start to unravel that onion, and there are so many different layers to it, but just on a really simplistic day-to-day level, education, going into stores, driving your car, going to the bank, the types of loans you get,
absolutely.
All of those things that are just taken for granted, the way we're treated on the phone, the way that prison sentences starting to get a bit deeper, how long people are put in prison for the same crimes, and even ex-criminals, how often they get called back for second interviews at jobs as opposed to what, all of those, it starts to get deeper and deeper. But the first step is just to go, oh, look, as a white person, I actually get to have a choice. I can keep getting uncomfortable, so I shut down with that term, or I can lean into it. So, and other people don't get that choice. So that itself is a white privilege, is being up when we get that choice.
Yeah, and not like, and like you said in your video too, like silence is not saying anything is saying something, right?
Right.
Like
Exactly. And that's what we were talking about earlier, actually, which is it can be, you know, when we hear that term, white people, it's uncomfortable. We're not used to being racially kind of dumped, you know, it's like white is normal, you know, so already we're on the back foot. We're being called white and privileged, you know, and so yeah, and then there's also this effect of, well, should I be talking? I don't know if I'm talking well. You know, then this right now seems to be a time when you go, yeah, talking's actually good. Join in the conversation and actually lean into the discomfort and start to look at it, rather than just shutting down hasn't worked and avoiding it hasn't worked.
No, because I mean, and that was the other thing that you see when you get into some of this reading too, is that nothing's changed without the people who are being oppressed standing up and saying, hey, this isn't okay. Whether it be, and I mean, I also want to say pretty clearly, and I meant to start here and I sort of forgot, that there are a million different types of privilege you can have. I mean, there's male privilege, there is cisgender privilege, there is hetero privilege, there's you know, ableism and being physically able. I mean, there's so many different ways. And so when you look at like, where do I fall? And I mean, color privilege, like I'm a lighter skinned Black woman, so I know that I might get I might get certain opportunities or be seen a certain way as opposed to a darker skinned woman. So I mean, there are a lot of different versions of this, and without sitting comfortably with that awareness, you have no way of reaching back and helping the people who need help, because the people in power, the people at the top of the food chain, they have every incentive for the status quo to stay the same, right? There's nowhere to go but there. Well, I think this is part of the problem, is they think there's nowhere to go but down, when in fact it's not going down, it's lifting other people up, you know?
That's right. And it's that, I mean, just going back to what you said earlier about, you know, the different types of privilege as well. I mean, one of the things I was reading about was the fact that the civil rights movement really, which is, you know, obviously there's been progress made, but, you know, the system is still in place and the people who constructed it still exist, you know, the same people. But the civil rights movement actually opened the door for other movements like women's rights movement. But just going back to what we talked about earlier, before the video crashed, you know, recognizing white privilege isn't can you hear me? Mm-hmm.
I can hear you. You're a little frozen, but it's okay, guys. We know we're just gonna bear with it.
Oh my, is the idea,
Brett?
that's a really good way to freeze too. It's you know, the idea that you know, bringing up the term white privilege doesn't make you racist as such. Recognizing that doesn't make you racist. No one's calling you a white supremacist by acknowledging white privilege. You know, and also the defensiveness coming from the fact that the vast majority of white people have also had this, you know, in their day-to-day life is tough, you know, getting through those struggles. And it's very difficult when you've got the blinkers on. I know when I grew up, you know, it's just like survival, right? But so you don't stop to look and go, everybody has these struggles, and then some have massive oppressiveness and discrimination on top of it, just in day-to-day life, and then all the way through to the most, you know, deepest aspects of being on the earth, you know, like it's, so it's, I guess what I'm saying is no one's saying that you haven't, you know, you've been given the keys to the kingdom, that you haven't fought and struggled and earned every cent that you've earned, that you haven't just been handed it, you know. Yeah. Of course that's the case, but this is separate from that. This is a separate issue. It's not that. This is the, you know, this is the system of white privilege that you move through life in. Yeah. Anyway,
but I want to talk a little bit before we go. And I know we're having all of this stupid internet shit, but here's what I want to talk about, and I'm going to move again just in case it's got something to do with my connection. It is okay. It is. I want to talk about the Australian footballers. First of all, I did not know Australian rules football existed.
Oh yeah, right. I used to play it actually. Listen, what is it? Just ridiculous for me to go and come back in again or not?
No, I'll cut you out and then let you back in. Everyone
Right.
can just sit with the knowledge that I had no idea about this sport.
I think it might be my phone. I think it might be my phone glitching. But let's all right. Yeah.
Great. So this is still going well. Really happy with how this has gone today. But yeah, I didn't know about footy. Hi. And that was, I was sort of baffled just thinking about it and watching videos of what it actually was. Hi.
We're getting so good at this. I feel like next time we're going to be.
I know. We've like made up for like a year and a half of not saying hi to each other and seeing each other by seeing each other like 6 times just today. So there you go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, maybe next time we'll just, you know, have a talk over the telephone, have someone write it down and distribute the manuscripts.
I want someone to draw the comic of this conversation and see if we can get it to people in like 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. Football, look, I haven't talked much about Australia, and I feel probably bad about that because we have the same systems in place, and we have a really dark history with what is called the stolen generations down there, and which essentially was, you know, and you know what? Just so you guys know, I'm going to put a bunch of links about that as well, and even a couple of a documentary and a movie if you want to learn about. I mean, I'm sure there's. I
couldn't find a documentary. I wanted to watch it this afternoon. Where can I watch
the football one?
Yeah.
Oh God, you will. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I heard it was on Amazon. I saw it actually in Australia. Went to the premiere of it, but I actually was looking for it as well. Someone I know.
No thanks.
Watch this.
Shit.
That's what happens when you get invited to the premiere.
That's what got you invited.
That's what got me invited. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. It's a great documentary, and it's very current. But we have, like I was saying, we have our own history that I don't know if you know much about it, but it was a similar thing, you know, Invasion Day and Stolen Generations, which was essentially children being taken from their families if they were considered half caste and taken from their mothers and turned into domestic servants and agricultural labourers. And often told that their mother, you know, not told any connection to their families, and so that of course, just like the race, slavery here, it's filtered down through right up until today, and the same prejudices apply, and so how that manifests today is we don't, you know, in Australia, and look, not an expert, but in Australia we don't have this extreme. We don't see people getting murdered in the streets. We don't see police shooting people when they're running away. We don't have that. We have a lot. We have statistically high deaths in custody for Aboriginal people through neglect and incarceration, and the same deal with, you know, education and incarcerations level being higher and work and, you know, employment. But the football thing is obviously a current. It's beautiful. It's a great sport. It's crazy, aggressive, non-stop. A bit like ice hockey in terms of it's non-stop. The interchange players just, you know, there's not too much. We don't spend 5 to 10 minutes dancing around. You know, there's a few celebrating when we get a goal. But the documentary is about,
You might spend a few minutes dancing around.
I dance.
Yes.
I dance throughout the whole game. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, the documentary is called The Australian Dream, and it's about one footballer in particular, Adam Goodes, who he's a champion footballer. Which, like I was saying in my talk, you know, obviously no one in the world deserves that, but because of his brilliance, the absurdity of this racism that he experienced is just so obvious. It's so ridiculous, and also kind of this thing, and we've talked about this before, you and I, where you kind of like can't believe it's happening, like in this day and age. you know, I mean, this is getting a little twee and a little hokey, you know, but when I grew up in a really small country town, and I loved American films, and I remember seeing the series Roots, and when I was a bit older, watching Mississippi Burning and having the past, and, you know, being really affected by it, but going, oh, well, at least it's in the past. You know, at least it's, you know, this no longer happens. And then you're seeing this footballer it's getting booed and racially vilified, and how dare he actually speak about that experience?
Right.
Just, you know what it is? It's exactly the same as shut up and dribble.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck.
That's what it is. It's, shut up and play football. Don't complain.
Let us watch you. I mean, really, can you hear me, Brett?
Don't stand up. Don't, you know, and then it's about his journey back into his own heritage, because he grew up in a fairly white suburban kind of environment. So then he goes back into...
Right. You're breaking up again. Yeah, you're just frozen again.
Unbelievable. What are we going to do, Barrett?
I don't know. I'm just walking in circles around my house. It's totally his problem. It's totally Brett. It's your... This is your fault. This is your fault. Okay, moving on. It's like shut up and dribble. It's exactly correct, and it's so uncomfortable.
Thank you. Oh God, thank God you heard that bit. It's exactly the same thing. Shut up and play football, and what it became is that this ridiculous kind of battle. It's look. I'll let you watch the documentary. I'll put the link on. It's a really beautiful documentary, and you know, no matter what country you're from, you'll get a lot out of it. So please check it out.
No, I really I want to watch it. I was trying to watch it, and I at 2:00. I was like, ooh, maybe I can catch this right now, but I couldn't.
I'll find out where it's from, and I'll make. Because someone told me it was on Amazon out here, and I did see it, but I don't know if it's been. You know what? First of all, I'll post the link to the trailer, and then I'll find out what it's on, and I'll post a little thing about.
Yeah, maybe you can make some calls. And in the meantime,
where you can find
get someone to come and fix your internet connection. We have to wrap this up. I want to talk about this so much more, but this is really sad. Oh my God. It's just the saddest thing in the world. So my name, I saw someone say, can you pronounce both of your names? I'm Barrett Doss, and that's Brett Tucker. And I'm going to try to get him in here again, just so we can at least wrap it up and say goodbye. I can't even do it.
You know what? I think it's because I turned the Wi-Fi off, because my coverage is a bit crap.
Oh, yes.
I think it's actually it's been a learning experience for everyone. We've learned a little bit about white privilege. We've learned that I'm used to technology. We've learned that it takes my Wi-Fi being on and Barrett being in that room. No, that's not possible.
Really, I think this is the best. I think this has gone really super well. I think I think Brett was going to summarize it so nicely, and then we lost him again. Um, but yeah, we've learned. I'm going to see if we can get him one more time. And look, you know, we can't win every time. This is literally, I'm just having a great time. I just want to keep hanging up on each other and starting again. Really. I think that we should do this every week. I mean, we don't need to talk about racism. We can, because it's great. But, you know, this is how I entertain myself now. It's just waiting. I will definitely save this one.
I don't know what to do, Barrett. I don't know what.
I'm relaxing into this now. I just am enjoying the mystery of what's going to happen next.
We should do this
every week. We can treat people to this show. I love this. And I'm not at all disappointed in how we're going to post the links. And it's going to be great. And you guys should check them out. You should check them out. It's really, all of this stuff has been super educational. We have a couple really good articles, a couple books, and then, excuse me. And then, hold on, Brett, say something again, just so I can try one more time. Just one more fucking time. People will hear your voice. Okay, here we go. I'm exhausted.
I think it's going to freeze in like 2 seconds.
So we should say our goodbyes now, just in case.
Just in case. Also, let's maybe let's plan on doing another one at some point.
No, we totally should, because I actually think that this topic, when we have whatever this situation is sorted, is like a really great. I think it's really great, and maybe you'll come back on. I want to talk in a couple weeks. It's down the line. It's in the second batch. We started with like the first 10 of the 19 words, and then we're going to move on to another batch. And something I know we wanted to talk about was later on was race versus ethnicity versus nationality versus culture, and how, like, I thought it would be interesting to have a lot of different types of people. I mean, we have a ton of topics, and I don't want to spoil all of them because I think they're all very connected and interesting. But we're talking about intersectionality later on, and having all of us sort of get together and have different types of people feel very free and open to share like some of their experiences. So I think we should do that. And this is over now, because we're just gonna have to do this again. But weirdly, you just moved around. Brett, you're the best. I miss you. I'm sure I will talk to you very shortly after this, probably on the phone, just to hear how much we both curse about how shitty this has gone. There you are. Hi. All right, I'm going. This is over. Thank you guys for listening. I don't know what's happening, but hopefully we'll figure it out and we'll be able to do this again. But this has been really entertaining either way. I hope you learned anything. Literally anything. Okay, Brett, do you want to say goodbye to the people? There was a whole thing I wanted to say. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear me, because this is just silly. Other people will hopefully get this. Have this under control. I don't know what magic Boris did to get his life to work so well, but maybe, I mean, it makes sense that his life wouldn't be janky like mine. Hold on. Let's see if we can get him one last time. I say it every time.
Hi.
Hi. It's like when
Been
you
a while.
died on the show. You just keep coming back.
Very similar. It's very similar. So listen, what do we do? Let's plan on doing another one.
Yeah. I think we
you
should.
were talking about the other terms and stuff. Let's do that. And I have, just in case I freeze again, I do have one last question that's unrelated to the topic, but more Station 19 related. I don't know. I heard some rumor about dating someone else or something, or
that's so. I gotta go.
Seeing someone else, is that?
No. Well,
that
I
wouldn't.
just.
Oh yeah. Oh,
no,
okay.
Sorry. I gotta go. My internet is breaking. It's. Just kidding. I think we lost him. All right. I love you guys.